Imagine a place where the economy is set to double almost overnight. That's Guyana for you, a small country with big dreams and even bigger oil reserves. Today, we're zooming in on Guyana, a country on the fast track to prosperity. From a massive oil boom to investing in the future with education and infrastructure, Guyana's making moves that are turning heads globally. But there's so much more to this story than just striking it rich. By the close of 2023, Guyana, a small nation in Latin America with less than 800,000 residents, might witness its economy double. Predictions by the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund suggest this English-speaking country, next to Brazil, Venezuela, and Suriname, might experience nearly 100% economic growth compared to the end of 2021. Guyana has been growing faster than the worldwide average. Even when the global economy went down in 2020 because of the COVID-19 pandemic, Guyana's economy grew by 43.5% and 19.9% in the following year. President Ali is steering Guyana through big changes super fast, thanks to the country's quick money growth. The government has a big plan to change and develop things quickly. Guyana's economy is shooting up for a couple of big reasons. First, it's a small setup with a $7.4 billion economy, so even a little extra income makes a huge difference. And the second thing is their massive oil finds in the ocean. Imagine this. A bunch of oil companies, with ExxonMobil in the lead, found a whopping 11 billion barrels of oil and gas a bit away from the coast back in 2015. That same year, ExxonMobil hit the jackpot with oil in two spots, named Salafin 1 and Yarrow 1, in an area called the Stabroek Block. This is huge because Rystad Energy says these oil reserves are a big chunk, like 1/3 of the world's new oil discoveries since then. They think Guyana's government could get over $1 billion from oil money this year. That's a lot of cash. Ashni Singh, the guy in charge of money matters, said President Irfan Ali's team knew it was important to have different ways to make money, not just oil. So, from the start, they focused on boosting other parts of the economy, too. They wanted to shake things up in the usual money-making areas to spark speedy and strong growth in businesses that don't rely on oil. Looks like it's working because the numbers show good growth without the oil bucks. They expect to build on the 4.6% growth they had last year. But hey, it's not all about the numbers, you know? This big money boost isn't just about counting cash. What's cool is how it's changing everyday life for folks in Guyana. We're talking about building new stuff like roads and bridges, creating more jobs, and ensuring people get to better schools and doctors. This rush of money will touch every part of life in Guyana, opening doors to a future full of chances to do great things. Education and coming up with new ideas are at the heart of Guyana's sudden leap forward. The government is pouring what it can into schools so that a new crew of smart, savvy people can grow businesses and make a difference. And it's not just quiet in the research labs, they're alive with energy, cooking up cool new tech and figuring out ways to solve big problems. Guyana gets that it could be more smart to only count on one thing, even if oil is a big deal for them. They're all about mixing it up. They're also working on strengthening other businesses like the gold mining scene that's already doing well. They want to make sure they can keep growing without any hiccups in the long run. The plan is to make the most out of everything they've got: the super good soil for farming, land loaded with minerals, and all the amazing places you can see in nature. Thinking about roads, bridges, and stuff? Well, Guyana's on it. They know that they must have the right setup if they want people from other countries to invest and help their economy grow. That's why the government's busy building many big projects like shiny new ports, airports, and highways. These aren't just little changes. They're going to plug Guyana into the world's economy, turning it into a hotspot for trade in the area. They've got some big cooking plans, like a road stretching to the north of Brazil, a bridge reaching over to Suriname, and another crossing the Demerara River. And guess what? That's just a sneak peek of all the cool stuff they plan to do. Every day, Guyana's getting more attention, like a rising star catching the eye of big-time investors and important people worldwide. They're making friends in high places, laying the groundwork for deals that'll mean trading more goods, working together on tech stuff, and swapping know-how. With all this new clout and money talk, Guyana's becoming a big deal on the map, and that's making other countries and even the heavy hitters of the world sit up and take notice of what's going on in this part of the neighborhood. But you know what's really at the center of it all in Guyana? The awesome culture and deep roots make it what it is. Think about all the colorful celebrations, music that gets your feet moving, and art that grabs you. All this cool stuff is part of a cultural wave that's just as important as the money side of things in Guyana's leap forward. And it's not just the big cities getting a piece of the pie. The folks living out in the countryside are getting a boost too. They're getting better at farming without hurting the earth, finding it more accessible to borrow money, and these programs are popping up to improve life in rural areas. Plus, this whole boom isn't just about filling pockets, it's about making life better for everyone there. Guyana's health world is getting a big push, with some modern hospitals popping up and health workers getting all the right training. This means everyone in Guyana should get really good care. They're putting health first, ensuring people stay well, which is important for keeping the country's engine running. Now, Guyana's making a name for itself, going from the little guy to a shining example of success. Big countries and neighbors are lining up to work with Guyana, seeing how much clout it's got now. This has kicked off a bunch of teamwork, making deals for trading and starting up big building projects with places like the USA, China, and Brazil. The whole world's taking notice, keen to be a part of the amazing things happening in Guyana. As Guyana opens up all its big possibilities, it's super important to keep everything in check, making money, looking after the environment, helping society, and running things properly. Being open about how they do stuff and caring for what they've got will help make sure they make the most of this economic adventure. Big groups like the International Monetary Fund are already watching Guyana because it's growing fast. They're saying Guyana could be the world's fastest growing economy, with its GDP shooting up 37.2% this year. If things keep going this way, Guyana might become one of South America's richest places. Guyana's journey is like an amazing story of super fast change. They found a huge amount of oil in the sea, started making their economy about more than just oil, and began building lots of new things. All of this has turned Guyana into a big player quickly. But now that Guyana's got this new wealth, it's got to make sure the good stuff is spread out fairly to everyone there. Keeping things going in a way that's good for the planet, being clear about how they run the country, and making sure they use their resources wisely are going to be the big rules to follow as they make the most of their growing economy. In the next few years, Guyana will have the fastest zooming economy. Back in 2019, they hardly made any oil, but by 2021, they were pumping out more than 100,000 barrels daily. And guess what? The World Bank thinks this number will shoot up to over 400,000 barrels a day by 2024 because new oil projects are starting. Plus, they keep finding more oil. There was even a discovery in October of 2022. With all this extra cash coming in, the government will spend more. They want to ensure that Guyanese people and companies get a fair shot at the energy business, which will also help other parts of the economy. But there's a flip side. With everything booming in energy, there's a chance that only the friends of big shots will get the good deals, which could mess up how things are run. Plus, money might get pulled away from making stuff and providing services. To stay in the game, businesses must keep up with the super fast world of outsourcing. These changes are shaking things up for businesses now, and they'll keep doing so down the road. Wow, what a journey it's been for Guyana, right? If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories like this. Keep watching and keep discovering with us. See you in the next video.